Have you ever stopped to calculate the actual cost of not taking care of your health? The extra doctor visits, the mounting cost of medication, the food waste, and not to mention the loss of energy and enjoyment for life. Now, what if I told you that there's a way to not only reclaim your health, but also to save money? Would you be interested? If you're nodding along, then you are in for a treat today. Today, we are diving into the surprising return on investment that hiring a life and health coach can offer. It's about much more than just feeling better. It's about a sustainable way of living that saves you money, time, and needless stress. So stick around because you're going to want to discover the game-changing financial and health benefits of investing in yourself. You are not going to want to miss this. You are listening to the Done with Dieting podcast, the podcast for women who are experiencing perimenopause and menopause symptoms and want to feel better, like they did before their body started changing. I am your host, Elizabeth Sherman, Master Certified Health and Life Coach for women in menopause and perimenopause. I've helped thousands of women manage their symptoms, get off the diet roller coaster, and change their relationship with food, exercise, and stop fighting with their bodies. And I do it through a feminist lens, which means exploring how we are socialized as young women and how it impacts our current relationship with food and exercise, our bodies, health, and ourselves. What's different about this podcast is that we're exploring your health from all sides, not just food and exercise. We also address the mindset shifts that will make you happier and lead to better health. My goal in this podcast is to illustrate that the reason that diets don't work long-term is because your health doesn't exist in a silo. Your health and your weight are a symptom of other parts of your life and how you show up. I want to help you to feel good and live the life that you desire from a 360-degree approach, body, mind, and soul. Welcome. Let's get started. Hello, and welcome to episode number 137 of the Done with Dieting podcast. I am your host, Elizabeth Sherman. First off, I have some totally exciting news to share. As summer winds down, I am gearing up for some well-deserved time off with my husband. Yes, we are heading to Italy for a few weeks, and I am so excited. I'm looking forward to just indulging in beautiful culture, exploring new places, and of course, savoring the delicious Italian cuisine. I know that my husband is too. And guess what? If you want to be a part of this journey with me, I will be sharing lots of updates and food adventures on my Instagram stories. So make sure you're following along with me and let's experience the beauty of Italy together. But before I set off on my Italian escapade, my vacation, I have an incredible episode for you today. We are going to talk about something that is actually really super important. It's the return on investment for hiring a life and health coach. Now, I know when you hear the word investment, your mind immediately jumps to financial figures, stocks, bonds, and maybe even real estate. But have you ever considered your health and wellness as a worthy investment? Well, guess what? It is. And not just in the sense of feeling better, having more energy, or living longer, although those are some amazing benefits. It's about the broader impact on your life and your wallet. And here's the thing, the financial impact is probably more significant than you'd expect. It's time to discover the hidden costs of neglecting your health and the financial upside of taking care of it. So let's dive in. Let's talk about something real and prevalent among us, the health and lifestyle struggles. Our daily lives can get so busy juggling responsibilities at home, work, or even personal commitments. And amidst all of this, our health tends to take a backseat. Does that sound familiar? Well, if it does, you are not alone. This is a common story that I hear from so many women, especially women in midlife. Now, in episode 134, we talked about how to talk to your partner about starting coaching. If you've been a listener of the podcast, you know that I talk a lot about the societal pressures that women face, We're often taught to prioritize others' needs before our own, which often leads to push our health and wellness to the bottom of our priority list. And this isn't just about time. It's also about money. It's no secret that women are often socialized to save money. We're taught to budget, we're taught to make plans, and we're taught to scrimp and save. While men receive different information about money. Men are taught to make money. So this mindset can also affect how we view investing in our health. It's not uncommon for women to view expenses related to their health, like hiring a life and health coach, as a luxury or as something that's self-indulgent, rather than an essential investment in their future. But then there's also the constant bombardment of fad diets that promote quick fixes. But let's be real here. They only result in a cycle of short-term thinking and yo-yo dieting. This not only affects our health negatively, but it also keeps us stuck in the mentality of quick, temporary fixes. It's a never-ending, exhausting cycle. So why do we keep falling for these fad diets? We do it because they're often sold as something for us, a way to fix us, a way to fix our flaws. But let's pause for a moment and consider, what if taking care of our health isn't just for ourselves? What if it actually has a ripple effect that benefits everyone in our lives? Our partners, our children, our grandchildren, our friends, our coworkers. The truth is that investing in our health through life and health coaching doesn't just help us. It actually supports everyone in our circle. And this is a conversation that we really need to start having more often. Now, if you've been listening to my podcast for any length of time, you probably are already familiar with my perspective on health and fitness. And so you know that there is no magic bullet diet or quick fix. And I'm sorry to disappoint you. But here's the thing. Those things don't work. And so, of course, I am all about sustainable habits, listening to your body and respecting what it tells you. It's important to understand that this isn't about restriction or deprivation. It's about making small, sustainable changes that add up to big impact over time. Instead of focusing on what you can't or shouldn't eat, I guide my clients to focus on nourishing foods that you can add to your plate. I love the idea of what I call displacement, which means that you're adding things to your diet like vegetables and water and good proteins, so as you crowd out the things that you want to get rid of. I encourage movement that feels joyful, not as a punishment for what you ate. And it's all about balance, not extremes. And at the core of my coaching approach is the principle of tuning into our bodies. We've been taught to ignore or suppress our body's signals, specifically hunger. But our bodies are wise and they communicate with us all the time. They tell us when we're hungry, when we need to go to bed, when we're full, when we're tired, when we need to move, and even when we need emotional care. Now, you might be wondering, so how do I get started with this? What is all of this? So all of that is covered in the guide and checklist called 8 Basic Habits That Healthy People Do. And it serves as a foundation for all of my coaching, for my group, as well as my one-on-one work. And it's a great starting point for anyone looking to improve their health and well-being. Now, if you want to get your own copy, you can get it at elizabethsherman.com/habits. And of course, that link is going to be in the show notes so that all you have to do is click the link to download it. Now, this approach contrasts sharply with the problems that we discussed earlier. Instead of falling into the cycle of fad diets and the societal pressures to prioritize others' desires over ourselves, my coaching philosophy is all about putting you back into the driver's seat of your health. It's about breaking free from external rules and restrictions and learning to trust ourselves and our bodies again. And remember, this isn't a me thing. It's a we thing. When you start to take care of your health, it has a ripple effect that ultimately benefits everyone around you. Now, I know it's one thing to talk about my coaching philosophy, but I want to share some real life stories from clients who've been in the trenches doing the work. These are women who've seen firsthand the transformation of sustainable habits, listening to their bodies, and investing in their health. Let me first introduce you to my client, Susan. She's a 52-year-old lawyer married with 2 kids. She came to me struggling with stress eating, and it led to her high cholesterol. Like many of us, Susan was an expert at putting everyone else's needs first, but she was ready for a change. And after working together, Susan was not only able to manage her stress eating, but it also reduced her cholesterol medication. Her new mindful eating habits saved her and her family $200 per month on restaurant and takeout meals, and she's never felt better. Susan's health transformation has even inspired her husband and her kids to be more mindful about their food choices. Next, I'd like to introduce you to Teresa. Teresa is a single 57-year-old CEO who was pre-diabetic when we started working together. She was always on the latest fad diet. She'd lose some weight only to regain it all and then some back. Once we began focusing on sustainable habits rather than quick fixes, Teresa started to see real, lasting changes. And today, she's no longer pre-diabetic. Her grocery bill is lower than ever since she's shopping smarter, eating healthier, and wasting less food. Then there's also Cheryl. Cheryl is 48 and a mom who was struggling with anxiety. Despite being on medication, she found it hard to manage her stress levels, especially with her demanding job. But through our coaching sessions, Cheryl learned to understand and respond to her body's signals for care. Not only has her anxiety improved, but she's also found that she could reduce her medication. And guess what? She's now saving money on both her pharmacy and her food bills. So these are just a few examples of the many women who've transformed their lives through coaching. And the ripple effects are far-reaching. They're not just changing their lives, they're also inspiring their families and their communities to embrace healthier habits too. So let's talk about the elephant in the room, the cost of coaching. Yes, working with a life and health coach is a financial investment, and I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't address it head on. My coaching services come at a premium price, and there's a reason for that. The methods I teach are not quick fixes. They're not shiny, fancy fads. They are sustainable, long-lasting solutions that get to the root of your health struggles. And let's face it, if those lower-priced offers actually worked, you wouldn't be here searching for another solution. So yes, my coaching may require significant initial financial investment, but what I want you to consider is the return on investment. The benefits that my coaching clients see aren't just immediate, they're long-term. Think about the money you'll save on medication, on takeout meals, on diets and gym memberships that don't work. These savings add up, and over time, the cost of coaching pays for itself. But there's more to it than just dollars saved. There's a hidden cost to not investing in ourselves. It's the toll on our health when we keep putting others first. It's the negative impact on our quality of life when we're caught in a cycle of dieting, overeating, and feeling guilty. It's the opportunities missed because we didn't have the energy or the confidence to seize them. Investing in coaching is investing in yourself. It's choosing to prioritize your health and well-being. It's making a commitment to break free from cycles that are keeping you stuck and move towards a healthier, more fulfilling life. And let me tell you, from the case studies that we've heard today, that's an investment that pays dividends for years to come. One aspect that you can make investing in your health even more doable is leveraging a health savings account, or an HSA. You might not realize it, but your HSA could potentially be used to cover the cost of life and health coaching services. Now, I know what you're thinking. This sounds complicated, right? But I assure you, It's simpler than it seems. Here's how it works. First, you need to check your eligibility. So how you do that is you reach out to your HSA or FSA benefits specialist or an administrator and ask them if your HSA or FSA card can be used or if you can be reimbursed for life and health coaching services. Next, step number 2, you want to get a doctor's approval if it's required. In some cases, you might need a letter of medical necessity or a prescription from your doctor. This is essentially your doctor confirming that coaching is a recommended part of your healthcare plan. Number 3, you want to use your HSA or FSA card for payment. Now, if you're eligible, you can use your card just like a credit card for payment. Remember though, card issuers are still at liberty to authorize or decline any payment. And then number 4, you want to submit your monthly receipts. Now, this might not be necessary, but if needed, you can keep track of your receipts and submit them for reimbursement. So it's important to note that each HSA or FSA is completely different. So it's crucial that you check with your benefits specialist first. But if you're eligible, this is a fantastic way to make health and life coaching more accessible. After all, you've already set this money aside, so why not use it to make a long-term investment in your health? Okay, so we've discussed the financial aspects of coaching quite a bit, but what I also want to underscore are the non-monetary returns on your coaching investment, because these are priceless. Through coaching, you will learn to trust yourself more. You'll gain self-esteem and confidence that you might have lost somewhere along the way. Imagine feeling at ease with your decisions and standing firm in your choices. That assertiveness, it's a byproduct of understanding and validating your needs, which we work on extensively in our coaching sessions. And these changes don't just affect your personal life. They have a ripple effect that extends to your professional world as well. When you're more assertive and more confident, you show up differently. You speak up for yourself. You ask for what you deserve. And this can result in significant career benefits. Yes, that could totally mean promotions or salary increases, but it also means job satisfaction and the fulfillment that comes from knowing that you are valued and heard. Coaching also offers a tool set to handle life's transitions and challenges more gracefully. As we navigate midlife, transitions and changes become constant. Whether it's changing family dynamics, career shifts, or personal transformations, coaching equips you with the resilience and adaptability to navigate these waters with more ease and less stress. So while the financial return on investment from coaching is a significant aspect to consider, I also want to urge you to contemplate these non-monetary benefits because at the end of the day, the ultimate return on your investment in coaching is a more balanced and fulfilling life. Now, you might be wondering about the commitment that's required when you invest in coaching and some potential challenges that you might face. So let's be honest here. Coaching is not a magic pill. It's not something that will give you an overnight transformation. It's a journey. It's about committing to yourself, to your health, and to the process of change. And let's be clear, this change isn't always easy, but it's incredibly rewarding. Now you might be thinking, Elizabeth, I've tried to change before. I've set goals and I've just failed. And if that's the case, know that you are not alone. This is a common experience because change is hard, especially when you're working against years of ingrained habits and social pressures. But this is exactly where coaching can make a difference. As a coach, my role is to guide you, to provide you with strategies and tools to overcome the barriers that have held you back in the past. Think about it like climbing a mountain. The climb can be challenging and even daunting. There are no direct paths, and there are going to be moments when you feel like giving up. But with each step, you are getting closer and closer to the top. And when you do reach the top, the view is worth every ounce of effort. Coaching is similar. It's a process that requires you to push your boundaries, to step out of your comfort zone, and the benefits are worth every step that you take on this journey. So yes, coaching requires a commitment to yourself and a commitment to your goal. It requires time and effort, and it might be hard, but I promise you, it's also one of the most rewarding and transformative journeys you'll ever undertake. I want you to really consider the return on investment of investing in your health and wellness through coaching. The financial benefits, the health improvements, the increase in self-esteem and confidence, the newfound ability to handle life transitions. It's all part of the return that you can expect when you invest in coaching. But most importantly, the biggest return that you are going to see is the transformation in how you feel about yourself and your life. And isn't that the ultimate return that we all want from any investment that we make? Now, I understand that the decision to invest in coaching can be a big one, and it's a decision that only you and your family can make. But I want you to consider something. What will happen if you don't make this investment? If you continue down the path that you're currently on? Trust me, I don't say this to scare you, but rather to urge you to consider the whole picture, to really think about it, and to open up your idea about how this could help and impact the rest of your life. Because while coaching is an investment, not taking action also has its costs. So if you're ready to invest in your health and well-being, I'm here to guide and support you on that journey. To find out more about how we can work together, head over to elizabethsherman.com/consult to schedule a consult. I'm also going to have a list of other podcast episodes that you can listen to in the show notes of this one. Remember, you have one life, one chance to live it to its fullness. So don't let your health and happiness be the thing that you compromise on. You are totally worth the investment. Thanks for joining me today. Have an amazing day, everyone. I will talk to you next time. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks for listening. If you're done with dieting and would like to work with me as your coach, I'd love to invite you to reach out to myself and my team to ask about programs and pricing. Go to elizabethsherman.com/contact to get started today. I can't wait to hear from you. See you next week.